We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. Misses with the straight left. There's a counter shot. One moment changes everything, especially in this division. Nice counter shot. Perhaps the hottest ticket in town for this fight tonight.
This is not just hype. We are in for something special tonight. What an arena, what an atmosphere, what a build-up.
Nobody home with that hook. And he misses with that straight left. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
That left hook missed. This fighter doesn't just want to win by knockout. They want to do it early so they can get out of here.
A win is not just a win for some fighters. They need to feel the blood, the crunch. They need to get that win.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first? This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talking about Calzaghe in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are... And there's the bell to start the round. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's a counter shot. Beautiful counter shot. Punch, counter punch. Both men step back for just a moment. When you're fighting a counter puncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Some real good back and forth between these two fighters. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other because no one dare do anything out of turn.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. A perfect counter shot. And he misses with that straight left. Swing and a miss with that jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, they ring the bell and here we go. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
A lot of people love watching fighters in this weight class because they've got the speed and they've got the power. That jab doesn't find a home. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. Well, Johnny, we're in the early stages here. What have you seen so far?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. His stamina is off the charts. These two fighters are made for one another. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. We just saw it. Dump. They ring the bell, and here we go. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
A perfect counter shot. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox the fight and beat them on points.
Sergio Martinez is dazed. Trying to measure his punches now.
Being dazed now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
A very competitive round here so far. When are we going to see a jab from these two?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Missing with that right hook. Just missed with that hook. That counter punch caught him clean. And that left hook doesn't find its target. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round. And there's the bell to start the round. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, I know it's still early on, but have you been surprised by anything you've seen?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
This is a high-octane battle. You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. Well done with that counter shot. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Well, we knew this was going to happen. Some taunting. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here. We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Caution is being thrown to the wind. A perfect counter shot. It's all offense all the time. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Nice counter. Well, if their intention is to anger the opponent, I think it's going to work. Doesn't always pay to be first. It pays to be last. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tail. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them.
Oh, and Joe Calzaghe just took a heavy shot. Well, this won't sit well with the... Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something. We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. The perfect counter lands. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. That counter shot lands. Big hook. Good thing it didn't land. Missing with that jab. He threw a punch and just got countered. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They exchange punches. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round. And there's the bell to start the round. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Beautiful counter punch. Joe Calzaghe just got rocked. And they figure out the combination to this safe. Disaster averted.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do you do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this? Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
When someone punches that hard, you don't want to trade shots. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Talk about Calzaghe in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight. They ring the bell, and here we go. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is the heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two. Which fighter will say no mas?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Nobody home with that hook. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Well done with that counter shot. Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in. We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Beautiful counter shot. Beautiful counter punch. That counter shot lands. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
A perfect counter lands. And they figure out the combination to this safe.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dares do anything out of turn.
Can't land the jab there. Right uppercut just off target. Needs to put some combination work together. One punch is good, two punches better. Misses with the straight left. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out. They ring the bell, and here we go. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've got in the ring with fighters like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out of there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Beautiful counter punch. The winner of this surely will get a world title shot. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Back and forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And he scores with the counter. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. That counter shot lands. Let's talk about Calzaghe in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Breathe. Fall from stoop. Right? Don't worry about the knockdown. Don't worry about the tough round. Just breathe and relax. Right. This next round, and just keep moving. Don't take any clean shots. Every time he gets close, tie him up, grab a hold of him. Good. Right. In this next round, I want you to get through the round. Just get through the round.
Don't take any clean shots. And every time he gets close, tie him up.
Round. Just get through this round. Get on the end of the jab. Keep step
Through the round.
And there's the bell to start the round. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
That counter shot lands. Nope, that hook won't score. Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Well, Johnny, it's still early on, but what do you think about what we're seeing so far?
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a cliff. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Good counter punching. You'd like to see more jabs. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. The judges have spoken, a unanimous decision victory.